Well, the interesting thing is I lost a very significant friend of mine recently, and as a medium, I found myself in the quandary of being the person that was grieving, and grieving to a point of ridiculousness. I mean, I just didn't know how to handle it. I'm going through all the different emotions and feelings of grief, and I wasn't having any contact with her, and the pain of that, the quandary with that was just enormous. We had talked about signs and symbols and things that that she might come through with and show me, and none of that was happening. I was upset one morning and just asked, why aren't you showing me yourself? Why aren't you being with me? Why don't you come through like other people do for me? And I was kind of having a meltdown, if you will, over it all, and just going through my gyrations with it. And so I let go and got upset and angry and kind of screaming and everything else in my home all by myself. Like, where are you? What do I do now? Type of thing. And what happened is that I had a friend there staying there who was part of this organization. Actually, Lloyd Auerbach was staying at one of the guest homes nearby, and we had been doing a teaching thing for mediums that weekend, and he was going back to San Francisco, so I was going to bring him to the airport. And on the way to the airport, we were on the highway, and we had been talking about the weekend and how interesting it was and some of the crazy things that happened, and we're having a good talk, and as we're good friends, and he went on his phone to check his flights. So all of a sudden the car became quiet. Well, instantly back in my mind was the hurt and the pain of the recent passing of my friend Robin. And what happened was, in my mind, I'm screaming again as I'm driving, what do I do now? What am I supposed to do now? What should I do now? And all of a sudden, this little black car comes by and cuts me off and almost forces me into the Jersey barriers at the middle of the highway, and I almost crashed. And caught me at the wrong time, and I just kind of got angry and mad, and I sped up like, oh, what are you doing? Almost killed us, And as I sped up, I saw the license plate on the car in front of me, and I ended up taking a picture with my phone. And I'm a sailor, and I like to sail. I have a sailboat in Lake Erie, and it's my oasis, my away from home. And while Robin was in hospice, I could never go sailing because I was too afraid of being that far away and not being able to get back to the dock. So it sat at the dock all summer, and I hadn't used it. And I really didn't care about it anymore. It's because I cared more about whether she was going to be okay or not. And so I came up behind this car, and the license plate said Sail, Sail, JS, which is my name, Joe Shiel. And so, it's like, duh, maybe that's the message, maybe that's what I'm supposed to get, maybe that's the synchronicity of it. And sometimes that's how the signs show up. I don't think we need to be aggravated or get upset to get signs or symbols. We don't need to be out of sorts, if you will. I think we can just quiet down and ask sometimes. That morning I happened to be out of sorts, but it really was the first time that I had any kind of feeling that can't be anything other than at least a gift for the day to get me through. And it was actually a good suggestion. So that's the story.